They hit us, so we hit them back.
Sonny Corleone is one of the iconic characters of the cult classic film The Godfather, widely regarded as one of the greatest in cinematic history. This video proposes to evaluate his mental state by analysing his behaviour in several key scenes of the film, carefully examining each scene along with its context, noting potential signs of mental disorders in each, and reaching a conclusion at the end of the video about whether Sonny has disorders or if these are simply traits of his character. The analysis is conducted avoiding overly complex terminology, using language accessible to everyone.
Private party, go on.
Sonny Corleone, one of the heirs to the Corleone mafia empire, confident, young, energetic and aggressive. His father, Vito Corleone,
Be my friend?
built his fortune through illegal operations, racketeering, gambling, alcohol trafficking during Prohibition, and corrupt connections. He also invested in legitimate businesses, such as import-export, laundering money through them. Right now, the Corleone family is at the peak of its power, showcasing this through a lavish wedding attended by the cream of society. The Corleones have risen so high that they've caught the FBI's attention, which sends agents with a photographer to document all attendees, a perfectly legal procedure for one of the country's most influential mobsters. Tom Hagen, Vito Corleone's consigliere and lawyer, is aware of this. However, in this scene, we see Sonny, unaware of such nuances.
What is it? Hey, it's my sister's wedding.
Not consulting Tom, and stepping out to confront the strangers without hesitation, and thus personally learns that the FBI is shamelessly monitoring such an important event for his family. We will witness his reaction to this provocative incident.
Come here.
Initially, Sonny displays a confident, energetic demeanour, appearing concerned yet controlled. However, as soon as the FBI documents are shown to him, this calm confidence vanishes instantly. His face tenses, he spits on the ground with clear contempt, and his body language becomes tense and aggressive. Turning around, he spots an FBI photographer who has just taken a photo of the wedding guests. His reaction is immediate. He swiftly snatches the camera from the photographer's hands, shoves him with force, and then angrily smashes the device on the ground, scattering pieces. This act is accompanied by an intense expression of rage on his face. Next, without hesitation, Sonny swings his fist, clearly intending to strike the photographer, but his bodyguards restrain him, halting the motion. Recovering, he pulls 2 bills from his pocket and tosses them dismissively on the ground, as compensation for the damage, showing indifference to the photographer's dignity. Potential indicators of a mental disorder. The immediate shift from a controlled demeanour to aggression upon encountering the FBI documents suggests a challenge in sustaining emotional regulation under perceived stress. Spitting on the ground and disregarding the FBI's legal presence may reflect a dismissal of established authority and societal expectations. The quick sequence of snatching the camera, shoving the photographer, smashing the device, and attempting to strike indicates a propensity for sudden, unmodulated aggressive responses. Tossing money dismissively as compensation, rather than offering an apology or accepting responsibility, may point to an indifference to the effects on others and a potential belief in impunity.
Respect.
The most interesting action in this scene is Sonny's dismissive tossing of money. A similar act by a famous historical figure is that of Emperor Nero, 37 to 68 AD, Roman Empire, who, according to legend, after the burning of Rome, allegedly ordered by him, distributed money and grain to the affected citizens in a patronising and indifferent manner as a quick fix to quell unrest, showing little remorse for the devastation. This reflected his disdain for others' suffering and belief in his absolute power. The film repeatedly and vividly emphasises the importance of family values for the head of the Corleone family, a trait shaped in Vito by his tragic fate, when, as a child, he suffered devastating losses. His entire family was killed by the mafia. Vito Corleone, having a significant influence on his son Sonny, evidently passed down a deep understanding of the importance of a strong family. It's also worth noting that Sonny lived in an era when traditional family values still carried significant weight. Also, Sonny is married and has children, and all members of his family are present at his sister's wedding.
Hey, son, come on, do me a favor. Watch this. Just don't let him run wild.
Well, you watch yourself, all right?
In this scene, we see a self-satisfied Sonny Corleone with a wide smile, openly and boldly flirting with the bride's friend, gently touching her cheek. His wife notices this behaviour. Moments later, Sonny approaches her and gives instructions about raising the children, the obvious deceit deeply upsetting the woman. This is clearly visible on her face. However, Sonny remains unbothered and offers no apology for his actions. After Sonny playfully pinches Lucy Mancini's cheek, we see him continuing to flirt with her at the table, which his wife notices. At this point, the two leave the gathering together to be alone and engage in an intimate encounter, which later becomes evident to Tom Hagen. Potential indicators of a mental disorder. The swift transition from flirting to an intimate encounter with Lucy, despite his wife's presence, and bold cheek-touching in public suggest difficulties restraining impulses. Flirting and infidelity in front of his wife, followed by a calm return to family duties without remorse, demonstrate disregard for ethical standards and expectations. Shifting from self-satisfied flirting to indifference toward his wife's outrage may indicate variable emotional reactions. Indifference to her distress and lack of apologies point to a lack of sensitivity to others' feelings. Giving instructions to his wife after flirting may be an attempt to divert attention or assert control, hinting at manipulativeness.
What's the matter with you?
A similar act can be found in the actions of Henry VIII, 1491 to 1547 King of England, who despite his marriage to Catherine of Aragon, openly flirted and engaged in a relationship with Anne Boleyn right at court, where it was noticed by everyone, including his wife. His impulsive pursuit of personal desires, despite family and religious norms, led to a divorce and the creation of a new church, reflecting a comparable inability to restrain his impulses. To Vito, as the Don of the Mafia, people turn with various requests, primarily due to his influential connections with politicians and judges, especially entrepreneurs whose businesses involve, shall we say, certain complexities, like Virgil Sollozzo, whose trade is drugs. Such business matters require careful study and discussion. Sonny holds the status of an active mafia member and advisor to his father, obligated to strictly adhere to Vito's stance. Otherwise, his father's authority could be questioned, which is fatally dangerous in the criminal world. Virgil needs Vito's protection to distribute his goods, and is willing to pay generously for it. At a secret meeting, Sonny and Tom advise agreeing, but the final decision rests with Vito. Sollozzo offers highly profitable economic terms.
What is the interest for my family?
30%. In the first year, your rent should be $4 million.
But Vito is forced to decline,
But, I must say no to you.
emphasizing that such a business is too dangerous and could harm their connections with politicians.
But your business is, a little dangerous.
Sollozzo assures that Vito's investment will be guaranteed, but Sonny loses his composure.
Are you telling me that the Italians guarantee our
Wait a
investment?
minute.
Shocking everyone. No one present dares to interrupt the dialogue between Vito and Sollozzo, even when Sollozzo praises Tom for his professionalism, to which Tom merely nods. However, Sonny, upon hearing about the highly profitable terms, shows his interest by questioning Sollozzo about the deal's details. In doing so, Sonny goes against his Don's position, revealing a lack of unity within the family and casting doubt on Vito's authority as the Don. This discord was perceived by Sollozzo as a weakness and served as a catalyst for the assassination attempt on Vito. Potential indicators of a mental disorder. Sonny's sudden interruption with a question about the terms, despite the tension and hierarchy, may indicate an inability to maintain emotional control in a stressful environment. Interrupting Vito, the authoritative head, reflects a disregard for established order and respect for his father's role, potentially suggesting neglect of social structures. The shock of those present and the inadequacy of his reaction to the context may hint at fluctuating emotional states, where decisions are made without considering the overall situation. The absence of hesitation or attempts to apologize after the interruption may point to overconfidence and a lack of sensitivity to others' reactions, leading to risky outcomes.
There's a lot of money in that white powder.
The public disunity in The Godfather parallels the case of Alexander II, Russian Emperor, 1855 to 1881, known as the Tsar Liberator for abolishing serfdom in 1861. His reforms sparked conflict between liberals and conservatives, weakening his authority. The radical terrorist group Narodnaya Volya, perceiving this vulnerability, assassinated him with a bomb in 1881. As in the film and history, internal discord triggers radical actions leading to crises, a mafia war and repressive policies under Alexander III. After the failed assassination attempt on Vito, which left him gravely wounded, the family is plunged into a state of shock and chaos. Vito, as the mafia don, has always been the cornerstone of the empire, and his condition now threatens its stability. Sonny, as the eldest son, takes on temporary leadership, though his impulsiveness and lack of experience add to the tension. Clemenza, one of Vito's most loyal capos, arrives at the Corleone household to discuss security arrangements and investigate the details of the attack. The atmosphere is thick with anxiety, as the family must quickly adapt to this new reality, where every move could determine their survival in the criminal world. Clemenza brings the news of Vito's death, leaving Sonny in shock.
He's already dead.
In a burst of anger, he grabs Clemenza and forcefully slams him against the wall, but Clemenza calms him down. Sonny asks about Vito's bodyguard, Paulie.
Paulie was out sick. He's been a little sick all winter.
How many times have you been sick?
Only maybe 3-4 times. I mean, I asked Freddie wants me to get a different bodyguard. He said no.
Come on, do me a favor. Pick him up right now. I don't care how sick he is.
Clemenza offers to send bodyguards to protect Sonny's family, but Sonny refuses, insisting that Clemenza bring only Paulie. Sonny trusts Clemenza and lets him into the house. Clemenza's role is to keep Sonny informed about all family matters. After hearing the news of his father's death, Sonny loses control and forcefully pushes Clemenza against the wall, ignoring the fact that a young child is home and gets scared, starting to cry.
Easy, take it easy. 3-4 times. I mean, I asked Freddie wants me to get a different bodyguard.
Which Sonny disregards. He suspects Paulie of killing Vito, though Clemenza provides facts suggesting his innocence, which Sonny ignores. He insists on an immediate meeting with Paulie and refuses protection for his family, emphasizing that dealing with Paulie is the top priority. Potential indicators of a mental disorder. The sudden attack on Clemenza after hearing of Vito's death suggests difficulty controlling anger in a stressful situation. Ignoring the child's crying and refusing protection for his family demonstrate neglect of loved one's well-being and established priorities. Dismissing Clemenza's facts about Paulie and persistent suspicion indicate emotional bias and fluctuating judgment. Indifference to the child and lack of remorse for attacking Clemenza may suggest a lack of sensitivity to the emotional impact of his actions. The insistent desire to meet with Paulie, despite the facts, reflects a focus on personal vengeance that overshadows rational decisions.
Hey, Paulie! I got 2 gabagool! Gabagool! Ah, you stupid jerk!
The most interesting act by Sonny in this scene is his irrational, overriding desire to seek vengeance against the innocent bodyguard Paulie. The closest historical parallel involves Ivan the Terrible, 1530 to 1584, Tsar of Muscovy, who, suspecting his advisor Prince Andrei Kurbsky of treason in 1564, ignored evidence of his loyalty and relentlessly pursued revenge. Despite diplomatic pleas and rational advice from his court, he even ordered brutal reprisals against Kurbsky's family and supporters, prioritizing personal retribution over strategic stability, which intensified internal conflict in Muscovy, a period of chaos and danger for the Corleone family. Vito, their leader, remains in the hospital after a second assassination attempt on his life, where killers tried to finish him off with police assistance. A brutal war has broken out between the mafia clans. The Corleone mafia's significant resources are being drained by the conflict, and its members are tense, awaiting which side will prevail. The Corleone estate resembles a military fortress. Sonny has taken the bold step of ordering the killing of the head of the rival Tartaglia clan's son.
We hit Bruno Tartaglia 4 o'clock this morning.
Organised city patrols to track down Solozzo, and announces that Tartaglia is proposing a peace agreement.
To send Michael to hear the proposition. And the promise is that the deal is so good that we can't refuse.
Tom advises agreeing, but Sonny is adamantly opposed. Tom attempts to explain the strategic risks of war and its damage to their business, revealing that the police have been bribed by Solozzo, making conflict futile.
Take this into consideration.
Mafia member Tessio acknowledges that Sonny has lost control.
After the hospital thing, Sonny got mad.
Everyone is in a depressed state after hearing about the killing of Tartaglia's son on Sonny's orders, but Sonny appears happy. Tom Hagen is particularly distressed, being more aware of the potential negative consequences. This is the only scene where we see Tom seriously irritated. He nearly shouts, exhausting all arguments to convince Sonny to avoid escalating the war, barely succeeding. Meanwhile, Sonny initially responds with shouts and active aggressive facial expressions and gestures, barely restraining himself from a fight, but Tom eventually calms him down. Ultimately, Sonny's stance to continue the war prevails, supported by Michael. Potential indicators of a mental disorder. Aggressive actions such as the killing of Tatalia's son and an outburst of anger toward Tom with shouts and gestures suggest difficulty managing emotions in stressful situations. Rejecting a peace agreement and ignoring Tom's warnings about war demonstrate a preference for revenge over a logical approach. Shifting from euphoria after the killing to aggressive behaviour with Tom may indicate emotional instability during crises. Satisfaction from the killing, despite the family's grief, and indifference to their distress point to a disregard for the emotional impact of his deeds. Persistently dismissing Tom's advice and insisting on war reflect a desire to dominate, even when it contradicts common sense. Similar behaviour was displayed by Winston Churchill, 1874 to 1965 Prime Minister of Great Britain. In May 1940, after the fall of France, the War Cabinet was divided. Lord Halifax and Neville Chamberlain proposed peace through Mussolini, while Churchill rejected any peace talks. During the discussion, Churchill slammed his fist on the table, raised his voice, insisting on fighting without negotiations, which heightened the tension, and Chamberlain tried to calm him. Ultimately, Churchill regained his composure, and they agreed to continue the war until victory. The assassination planned by Sonny, and carried out by Michael of Solozzo and Captain McCluskey, has been successfully completed. Vito has been moved from the hospital to home, and his condition is improving. The family's affairs are still in poor shape but are beginning to stabilise, though the war with the Tattaglia clan continues, with them persisting in their resistance. The slight improvement in the family's situation boosts Sonny's confidence, relaxes him, and he gradually loses his vigilance. Sonny arrives at Lucy Mancini's place for an intimate encounter, accompanied by a large entourage of guards. Afterward, he stops by his sister Connie's house. She opens the door but quickly turns away, fearing Sonny's reaction to her battered face.
What's the matter?
It was my fault!
Sonny lies to Connie, promising not to hurt Carlo. Angered by Carlo's abuse, he beats him and threatens to kill him if it happens again. When Carlo abuses Connie again, Sonny, furious, drives alone to kill him and is ambushed and killed. Sonny behaves irresponsibly as the war is still ongoing, and his trip to the city for personal intimacy without a pressing reason, even with guards, is extremely risky and downright reckless. Seeing Connie's battered face, he flared up with anger, barely holding himself back by biting his hand, but managed to calm down to avoid scaring his pregnant sister. Sonny has numerous options to address Connie's husband's actions, ranging from legal solutions through his team of lawyers to illegal methods via his gangsters, yet he chooses to personally confront and punish him, despite promising Connie he wouldn't. He sped to the scene recklessly, not parking the car, and leapt out to beat Carlo, accompanied by only 2 guards. Far too few given the crowd of strangers around, enemies exploited Carlo's resentment to provoke Sonny, knowing his hot-tempered nature. They set a trap, and Sonny's uncontrollable aggression led to his death in an ambush. Potential indicators of a mental disorder. A flare of anger upon seeing Connie's abuse and impulsive rush to Carlo suggest difficulties controlling emotions in stressful situations. Travelling with inadequate security to confront Carlo during a mafia war indicates disregard for real dangers. Breaking his promise to Connie not to harm Carlo shows indifference to her feelings, despite having non-violent ways to influence Carlo. Choosing personal, physical retribution over other methods points to an irrational need to act independently.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Mental health assessment of Sonny Corleone. Based on the analysis of behaviour demonstrated in key scenes of the film, Sonny Corleone exhibits a persistent pattern of behaviour, consistent with the criteria for antisocial personality disorder. Antisocial personality disorder is characterised by a persistent pattern of behaviour that includes disregard for the rights of others, violation of social and legal norms, impulsivity, aggressiveness, and lack of remorse for harm caused. Sonny Corleone's behaviour aligns with these criteria. He engages in criminal activities, mafia operations, murders, acts impulsively, attacking an FBI photographer or interrupting his father during a critical meeting, displays aggression, physical assaults on others, disregards safety, travelling without adequate protection during a mafia war, and shows no remorse, dismissively throwing money at the photographer without apology, ignoring his wife's feelings after infidelity. These traits are consistent, appear across various situations, including being over 18 years of age and the absence of other mental health conditions that could better explain his behaviour. Thank you if you've watched until this moment. I'm truly grateful for your attention. If it's not too much trouble, please subscribe to my channel, give it a like and leave a comment. This will greatly support the channel's growth.